Goals from James Tavernier and Alfredo Morelos sees Rangers win. On and on goes Alfredo Morelos, continuing his mission to rebuild title momentum for Rangers. It might only have been one goal here, down from his double in Sunday's romp past Hearts, but this was another restorative victory to which he was absolutely integral. While Morelos remains in the mood, Rangers will remain in the hunt. 7 days on from that deeply bruising Old Firm defeat, Giovanni van Bronckhorst's side can feel an awful lot better about themselves. They did what was required here. Losing more ground never looked likely. Ryan Kent won an early penalty that James Tavernier converted. Then Morelos came to the fore. His second half clincher was a 7th goal in his last 8 appearances and the sign of a striker high on confidence. In truth, he could have hat-trick. The ones that got away might irk Morelos a little, but Hibernian's centre-backs will simply be glad to see the back of him. Something similar could be said of Kent, who continued his renewed buoyancy on the left wing. Still a single point behind Celtic, the Ibrox outfit can now turn their attentions to Saturday night's Scottish Cup visit to Annan and the subsequent trip to Germany to meet Borussia Dortmund in the Europa League. When they return to Premiership business, they know they must keep stringing together results and performances like the 2 just recorded. Successive clean sheets will also have bolstered belief in a defence cut to ribbons at Parkhead, albeit that Hibs tested Alan McGregor. A little further forward, another 15 minutes for Aaron Ramsey might have edged him closer to more meaningful involvement for those future challenges. The tasks facing Hibs are no less clear. Sean Maloney's side had some decent moments here, but remain without a league victory since the winter break. Sunday's Scottish Cup meeting with Championship leaders Arbroath promises to be real test of their mettle. It's one Hibs need to pass to prevent the current frustration from deepening. After hitting 5 at the weekend, selection was simple for Van Bronckhorst. The single change was enforced, with the injured Ryan Jack replaced by Glenn Kamara. More of the same was a clear and eminently understandable message from the Ibrox manager. This was also a personal landmark for Connor Goldson, making his 200th appearance for Rangers. Whether the reliable centre-back will get to strive for 300 depends on the progress of long-running contract talks. As it stands, Goldson is destined to return to English football this summer. Things were more complicated in the Hibs lineup. 4 changes from Saturday's defeat to St Mirren spoke of Maloney's search for effective combinations. So too did an initial alteration in shape. A switch to a back 4 looked aimed at matching up against Rangers. The inclusion of 3 players capable of operating at left-back was more puzzling. Josh Doig took the primary role, while Lewis Stevenson moved into midfield and Dimitri Mitchell was positioned higher up the flank. It was, however, on the opposite side of the pitch that Hibs were swiftly undone. Alarm bells clanged when Kent was able to get one-on-one against Paul McGinn before Chris Cadden could offer an extra layer of resistance. A drop of the shoulder left McGinn flat-footed, with the right back sticking out a leg to topple Kent inside the area. Referee Nick Walsh pointed directly to the spot and Tavernier foxed Matt Macy, restored ahead of Kevin Dabrowski by planting his penalty down the middle. Rangers, 4-2 to 3-1, McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Balogun, Barisic 15, Bassi, Kamara, Lundstrom, Arfield, Sakala 75, Kent, Ayadela Ribbo, Ramsey 75, Morelos subs, Diallo, Davis, Sands, Zukowski, Roof, McLaughlin booked, Tavernier, Barisic manager, Giovanni van Bronckhorst Hibernian, 4-4-1-1, Macy, McGinn, Jasper 12, Porteous, Bashiri, Doig, Cadden, Stevenson, Campbell 72, Doyle Hayes, Mitchell, Doig 71, Henderson, Mueller 64, Nisbet subs, Wright, Dabrowski, Allen, McGregor, Scott, Campbell booked, Bashiri, Stevenson manager, Sean Maloney attendance, 19,705 minutes gone, and the Easter Road side were behind. The concession was also McGinn's last involvement of note as he hobbled out after being hurt in an aerial challenge with Leon Balogun. On came Fulham loanee Sylvester Jasper to offer another attacking outlet, meaning a rapid abandonment of the back 4 experiment. Balogun only lasted 60 seconds more before he also succumbed to the force of an awkward landing. Borna Barisic was introduced at left back, with Calvin Bassi shifted infield. The tweak seemed to impact more on Rangers than their visitors. Barisic and Goldson were both booked for fouls as Hibs found pockets of space to exploit. Actual sights of goal were trickier to come by, but Kevin Nisbet might have done better when connecting with a cross from the left. Mitchell sent a free kick onto the roof of the net before Ewan Henderson used another set piece to test Alan McGregor from distance. Van Bronckhorst's side had earlier missed a chance to quickly double their lead when Scott Arfield guided a shot wide of Macy's left-hand post from a delicious Tavernier delivery. As Rangers found their flow again, Morelos fired in a dipping strike that Macy touched wide. The next clear opportunity came 11 minutes before the break, thanks to a gift from Ryan Porteous. Another chapter looked set to be written in the centre-back's complicated story against Rangers when sent a pass from inside his own area straight to the feet of Arfield. A quick interchange with Kamara allowed the midfielder to feed Morelos in a prime position, but the Colombian's first touch was ragged. Forced to adjust his feet, he could only tug a low strike off target. Morelos wouldn't have to wait too long for his moment. 12 minutes after the restart, he struck to effectively wrap up the victory. It was a fine finish too, adding to his admirable lineup play. The assist wasn't bad either. Sizing up his options, Tavernier slipped a perfectly weighted pass down the outside of Rocky Bashiri. The on-loan Norwich defender didn't see Morelos coming to take up possession inside the area. A high, crashing finish beyond Macy did the rest. Ibrox further erupted with news of Aberdeen briefly levelling against Celtic, only for the next bulletin from the northeast to deliver less welcome news. Post-activity continued to be found on the pitch, though. Tavernier picked out Morelos with another fine pass. This time, the striker went with an attempted dink past Macy, but didn't quite get enough elevation. Then Kent fired one at the goalkeeper before opposite number McGregor had to be agile to deny Jasper in stoppage time.